Welcome to Grizzly News. I'm Garrison Douglas. Today we're covering the Value of a Soul event that happened last week. Later, I sit down with SGA Senate Chairperson Aaron Lucier. Then we cover the SGA elections. We are reporting the news that's important to you, only on Grizzly News. Last week, Christians united, or at least the Christians here at GGC did. Young Life, Forerunner Campus Ministries, SGA, and several other organizations put on an amazing event. Let's take a look at this video to see what happened. The event of the week was the Value of a Soul event, which was last Thursday, March 17th, held in the Elvis Center. It was very unique as it was the result of several Christian organizations uniting together in a vision of giving purpose and inspiration to our generation of students at GGC. They wanted to create a culture of unity across different denominations, as well as show our campus what Christ-like love looks like. The event was Christian hosted as well as student led, with organizations like Baptist Collegiate Ministries, Campus Catholics, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Forerunner Campus Ministries, Gwinnett House Church, 12 Stone, and Young Life at the helm. The event featured several different activities and a lot of fellowship, from worship to a special message from Franklin Graham, who spread a message of hope and prosperity to the students here at GGC. It was an amazing event with tons of students from freshman to senior all there in attendance. It was a beautiful sight to see. We also got to hear an amazing set of testimony, not only in the video, from people from all across the country who are willing to share their story of their trying times and how eventually they turned their life over to Christ. But we also got to hear an even better testimony, an amazing testimony from one of our own students, Tiffany Wong, who was one of the organizers of the event as well as the president of Young Life. It was an amazing event, and we were so glad we got to be able to be there to record and report on this event. And we were also lucky enough to even snag an interview with a few of the organizers. Let's take a look. I have everyone here who helped put on the event tonight, the Value of a Soul event. That's what we've been talking about for the past week or so. So let's introduce yourself. What we got here?
I'm Rebecca Buller. I'm Tiffany Wong.
Micah Sadler.
Therese Williams. We have Campus Catholics, Forerunner, and Young Life here, but a lot more on the back.
Yeah, let's see the backs real quick. Listen, some nice t-shirts here that they helped design. Gave away a bunch of free t-shirts. I'm wearing one right now, as you can see. Yes, look at all the people who helped put together this event.
Let's see.
Yeah. Campus Catholics, 12 Stone.
House Church, Forerunner, SGA.
Alright, so you see a very big event that they put on, but I just want to ask you guys, what made you guys put this event together? Wow.
That is a great question. This has started, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to start, but basically, this vision has been given to multiple people around campus. We came together somehow.
Okay, so what, like crazy story.
Yeah.
I'm just like, we're just doing a Bible study, and I'm walking, and she's like, can you let me out and make it? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll show you. And she's like, well, you want to come with me? And I'm like, well, I already have a Bible study over here. And she's like, really, which one? Forerunner. And I was like, Forerunner. And she's like, what? I was just there the other night. And then she's like, I gotta send you a text. She sends me this long text. Turns out a year before, I felt the Lord want us to unify. Mike was feeling the same thing. And then she sent me this long text about unity and how he wants to unite the body. I want to get all the Christian groups together. And I'm like, what? I've been waiting for this for so long. Yes. And so yeah, that's how it started. And then it was just Jesus, like the words of Jesus, is really what made us one. Like he's worthy of everyone to worship him. For us to unite, and display who he is.
Amen, amen. All right, so I guess, you guys had a very successful event. So many people.
Thank you.
Can GGC expect any more?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yes. We want more. Oh my God.
On April 12th, during Spirit Week, we're going to have a long open worship event of international worship. We're inviting students to sing in different languages. We want people to come with all different types of worship. We're going to have headliners of city takers. We're going to come, they're on the radio, and they can like ministry all over the Southeast. And basically they're like rappers going to come out and be the finale for the last half hour. So we're really looking forward to that. And that's going to be just an all afternoon picnic. We'll provide food. Whoever wants to come, just sit on the lawn, go frisbee, sit on the blanket, and enjoy live worship music.
All right, that sounds like a whole lot of fun. Hopefully, we can get back out here and record that event as well. All right. Well, thank you guys for taking the time. Thank you for being on and sitting.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we'll be right back after the break. You guys have a great one.
It's election season here at GGC, so don't forget to come on down to the Elvis Room on Tuesday at 2 p.m. to meet your candidates for the SGA, the Student Government Association. Your president and vice presidential candidates will be facing off in an intense debate being hosted and moderated by GNN and the Globe here at GGC. This is not an event that you want to miss. Come on by, meet your Senate candidates, and then participate in the debate here at GGC.
Welcome back. Diversity and inclusion has become a major issue these past couple years, especially here on the GGC campus. Many students of all races, gender, religions, and sexual orientation are fighting for equality, and they're receiving a lot of support from students who are willing to help lead the fight. I have one of those students with me right now, SGA Senate Chairperson Aaron Lucier. Thanks for sitting down with me, Aaron. How you doing?
Of course. Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. All right, so let me just ask you first, because I know personally everyone has, it seems like, different definitions of what diversity means. What does that mean to you? What does the word diversity mean to you?
I think diversity itself has a multiplicity of meanings. So it can mean anything ranging from racial diversity, ethnic, nationality, majors on campus, your age, different things like that, gender, identity, sexual orientation. I think especially in the context of leadership in an organization, racial and ethnic diversity is especially important.
Okay. So in your opinion, where does GGC lack in the most lack in diversity?
I think honestly our higher administration probably lacks in diversity the most. Just to say that, if we're very well known for being the most racially and ethnic diverse institution in the Southeast, and then to look at our administration and see something very different, it kind of tells a different story than what we're saying. So I think that's extremely important to take a look at that and just see some of our higher administration.
Okay. Now, I know in Canada, their new prime minister made it a point to fill his cabinet with 50% women. Here at GGC, I guess, what is the goal? What would be a win for diversity here at GGC?
I think a win, honestly, when we're looking at administration specifically and the organizational standpoint, is looking at women like Dr. Richardson. She's an extremely important example of women and people of color. And for us, it's great to see an example of somebody succeeding in a field that usually is dominated by white males. So I think something like that is definitely a win. Dr. Lumpkin and the position that she's in, being able to, do some of the programs that she's doing are very important.
Okay. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn the page here for a minute. The Grizzly Task Force, is it? Okay. All right. The Grizzly Task Force. What exactly is that? What is the purpose of that?
So that actually came about after some events happened in August of 2015, so this past semester, and we were just looking at the poor relationship between residence life and public safety and some of our other student groups on campus. And it actually came about right after an event with a student leader being arrested for using a golf cart. So after that event, we actually just decided to sit down with administration and public safety and people from residence life, some RAs, some senior RAs, some student representatives, and we kind of came to some conclusions of what we can do to better the relationship moving forward with public safety and the student body. So we've actually come to a great ground where we can kind of work on some of these issues. So we're having, the police and public safety show up at some of our RA events, and so we're able to see some of our officers in a different light.
Okay. All right. And I guess, so what made you, because you're on the task force yourself, right? So what made you join that? Like, what made you fight?
Personally, being personally involved in some of the incidents that went on in the beginning of the year, being a senior RA in residence life, being in student government and the executive board, kind of helped me see some of those issues and being kind of aware of some of the issues that administration didn't even know were occurring. So President Goodwin and myself were extremely excited about this opportunity to be able to go in and change some of these things that were happening.
Okay. All right. Now, the interfaith meditation room,
Yes.
right? Okay. Interfaith meditation room. What is that? How does that work?
So right now we have our Multicultural Student Services Committee is a committee within Senate, and they've been working the past few years. We've had a concern from students that we are in need of an interfaith meditation room or a space for students to pray of different religions, and they've finally come up with something that we can tangibly do. So like today, for example, they've rented out a conference room for a certain amount of hours in the day to allow for students of different faiths to, come in and use the space for prayer, meditation, just private time with themselves. And it's just, we're kind of getting to the point where we're able to work with administration right now to actually find a solid place that we will be able to put this. So they're looking into the C building expansion, possibly for C4, possibly a space in the student center for the meantime. But we're getting a lot of use from it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I guess, can any student just rent it, or does it have to be like a religious organization on campus?
So any student can go in. We have our committee has actually rented out the room for certain times during the week, and we try to keep it as consistent as possible. Sometimes with meetings we have to shift it around a little bit, but what we do is we have a Remind 101 app. So our committee chair and her committee members will actually send out reminders like, hey, today it's going to be in this room from this time. So people are actually able to go, they get the text message on their phone, they wake up in the morning, they know that they'll have the time in the day to go over there and visit the space.
All right, SGA getting digital. I like that. All right.
Trying our best.
Okay, so now every great leader, starts to, at some point consider their legacy. What mark they're going to leave wherever they are, whether it's in Congress, in the country, or even on their campus. Have you started putting consideration into your legacy or what you might want that to start looking like?
I have, yeah. I'll be graduating next May, so that's kind of becoming a reality now, as sad as that is, because I love this campus. But so moving forward, I think something we've always focused on, and especially this year, is really torch passing and being able to say that if I were to leave my position tomorrow as Senate Chairperson, I have 5 people, my 5 committee chairs, that I'm solidly comfortable with leaving the position in the hands of. So I think that's a strength of an organization, but it's also a strength of a leader to be able to say that you've trained and worked with those people enough to be able to pass it right off to them. So that's something I'd like to leave as a legacy, is the ability to pass on leadership from one group to another and be able to really do that seamlessly, because as we'll be able to see this year in the elections, in the campaigning, that we have done such a solid job this year of making sure people know what a leader is, that we're now creating more leaders. So that's what I've always wanted my legacy to be. In high school it was the same way, and this I'd like it as well, but especially as it relates to women empowerment, I think, and intersectional women empowerment, not just, the white female women empowerment that you see so often, but women empowerment of women in the LGBT community, people of color, everything like that.
Okay. All right. Well, that's an amazing legacy to leave.
Thank you.
Get that done. All right. Well, thank you, Erin. We wish you many more successes here at GGC. All right. Thank you. All right. So that's all we have for Erin. Coming up, the SGA elections. Who's running and more. We have all that for you after the break. We'll be right back.
No, I don't know though. I'm scared. I mean, you're
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Welcome back. We've got the SGA elections. Campaigning began Saturday, and I'm sure each and every one of you have already seen the signs and events. But who exactly is running for what? Well, let's check out the candidates and see who we got. And just be a full disclaimer, some of these names are a little hard for me to pronounce, so just bear with me. I hope I don't mispronounce them. All right, so we've got Sergio Ballesteros, Michelle Cabrera, Kingston Castillo, Deja Kraft, Saeed Islam, Crystal Liu, Lilibeth Martinez, Armando Montiel, Ismeta Orlovic, and Mariala Tejada Garcia are all running for Senate seats in the School of Business. Jessica Ankin is in a pretty sweet position, though, as she is running unopposed in the School of Education. So GNN is making its projection that Jessica Ankin will retain her Senate seat in the SGA. So congratulations to you, Jessica. Now let's take a look at the School of Health Sciences. We can confirm that Evelyn Camus, Tammy Liu, Manor Maha, Eliman Morena are all running for Senate seats in that school. In the School of Liberal Arts, we have William Dunn, Michael Griffin, Purna Kumar, Usama Lakhani, Mamadi Morena, Michelle Sampson, Raven Smith, Tiffany Wang. And in the School of Science and Technology, we have Fedi Bashab, Chris Brown, Mark Guerva, Casey Okebalama, Felicia Partin, Whitney Ramirez, Omar Zuniga are all running for that school as well. As you can probably see, the SGA is facing historic numbers in this year's election cycle. Now let's turn to the executive board. As we all know, President Chase Goodwin will not be running for a third term as he will be graduating this year, which leaves that position open to brand new challengers. So who are they? Well, we can now confirm that Senator Tammy Liu and Senator Micah Sabeel will be running for president. Senator Liu has tapped Senator Usama Lakhani for the VP spot, and Senator Sabeel has tapped Senator Nika Williams as his VP running mate. Running unopposed is Senator Mamadi Morena, who is running for treasurer. And running for executive secretary are Senators Casey Okebalama and Mari Brown. So we have fresh faces for a new executive board. And that's what's going to make this election so interesting. Not a single person from the Goodwin Executive Board will be running for president. This was shocking to many, as Senate Chairperson Aaron Lucier was presumed to be next in line for the presidency, even snagging an endorsement from President Goodwin himself, who cited her passion for diversity and inclusion as major reasons he would want her to succeed him. She, however, will be running to retain her contested position as Senate Chairperson. Her opponent, former Senator and presidential candidate Joshua Sims. Senator Sims ran against President Goodwin in the last election, but sadly could not secure a victory. And speaking of victory, GNN can now project that Benjamin Coker, Alaya Kanani, Akia Lyles, Crystal Ramirez, and Monica Sandoval will all win their bids to sit on the Judicial Council. No doubt a great victory for these candidates. Now, these are a lot of names. So to learn more, come to the Meet the Candidate events tomorrow at 2 p.m. in Elvis. During this event, GNN will be partnering with SGA by broadcasting live and moderating the president and vice presidential debate. Check our Facebook page for more info on how to watch the debate live online, or subscribe to our YouTube channel, GNN Broadcasts. But that's all the time we have. We look forward to seeing you all tomorrow at the debate. I'm Garrison Douglas. Thanks for watching, and keep growling, Grizzlies.